Recap.
The exact opposite of what just happened.
Who wants to recap?
So intense.
I'm trying to
I can do
remember.
the first part.
There were definitely spiders
Yeah.
Where did we start?
in town, in a town hall meeting with Jebediah
The meeting.
Buddy.
Yep.
Right, with the police.
And we went in the woods. We found the hunter,
First there was the crazy guy, the hermit.
the hermit. Yeah, Charles Wilfrist.
Painter's
And
dead.
we totally skipped all the hard townsfolk prep work.
Yeah, we bought some supplies, and we learned that art students are in the woods, and dads and boys are in the woods.
Oh yeah, we found that creepy kid.
You met one dad and one boy.
George and boy Arthur.
Um,
And then there's a dead kid who's an art student.
art
Dead
student
artist.
dead.
yeah,
with
and
a
then
knife.
we met
An
that
old
guy
knife.
with the truck that clearly wants to kill us all.
That's the part I'm hazy on.
Yeah,
Who-
he's a serial killer.
Last thing I remember, we were on a road, and then there was a car approaching.
It was a
And
truck.
everything.
Yeah, it was totally a truck. Come on.
I got nothing after that.
Yeah.
That's the only. That was the final scene. So
Yeah, the
Yeah.
guy
Not much.
was strange. He was strange.
He wants to kill us. And there was dynamite in the back.
Did we get in his truck?
No,
You
there's
did.
too much dynamite in the back.
We did not.
Totally got in the back.
No.
No one did. No.
Roll for dynamite.
His name is. I have it right here.
Jane Strong.
Stanton. James Stanton is the truck driver, and he is working for the team that Mr. Strong sent out to the lake.
Yeah, he's no good.
The survey team. He's working under. He did tell you that he is working under foreman. His name's Carl.
It would be
Carl
Carl.
sounds right.
God.
Carl sounds right. Carl White.
Carl.
Carl White is the foreman. Carl.
Should we?
He told us that talking to the foreman would be prudent.
Yeah, it would
That's
be
exactly
really
what it sounded
creepily.
to.
It would
You
be prudent.
should do that.
He says he said it was a shame that the kid died in the woods.
He was lying.
Yeah.
Which?
Totally
footprints did
flat
we
affect.
follow? After we found the dead art student, did we go back and follow what we thought were the criminal footprints, or did we follow the footprints of what we thought was the murderer of the kid?
We were following the criminal's footprints again.
Okay.
Yep.
And they hit the road, and we think they're going to the quarry, or not the quarry, but the dig site.
They seem to be heading. So the footsteps of the kidnappers was on this kind of a dirt path with tire tracks, which is where you ran into the truck. But
Right.
then they very shortly dive off into the woods again.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it would be prudent for you guys to go speak to the foreman.
No. You liar.
On the trail.
Just saying.
So I think
All right.
we were heading off, like on the
Yep.
road. There was a trail to like the right or something, right? That's where we were
Mhm.
heading.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so you guys were
Found
about
one
to
dead.
duck off of the trail again, hot on the trail of presumably Sidney Harris and Eugene Clayton.
One of whom was bleeding.
One of whom is bleeding.
All right.
All right. So, you guys travel for a few more hours in the woods. I would like for everyone
Shit.
to make a hard spot hidden roll.
I'll make it so hard.
You can click the little hard button before you roll if you want.
I'm gonna make the spot hidden roll so hard.
Fail, fail, fail.
Oh, look at those.
Success.
Nice. Nice. 2 successes. Check them. Check them.
I checked.
Let's go.
All right. So Jimmy and Leland. And I would also like everyone to roll your luck, please.
Lucky day.
Jimmy.
Fail. Success. You're a lucky guy, Jimmy.
Jimmy is a lucky guy. That's Jimmy's thing.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So,
We're gonna get hit by a truck, aren't we?
who rolled the worst for luck? Let's just
Uh-oh.
see that.
Oh, why?
Okay.
I think mine's the worst.
Mm-hmm. So, Leland. Actually, I'll start with the spot hidden. Jimmy and Leland, you guys, as you're traveling along the path, scouting up ahead, you see that there is sort of a rise up ahead, like a little hill with some rocks, forming not like a sheer cliff, but a pretty steep climb. It's maybe 100 feet or 150 feet ahead of you, but both of you catch in a cluster of rocks at the top of the hill a glint of glass, which at least Leland would recognize as probably coming off of some round object, a single round object,
Uh-oh.
like perhaps a scope.
Oh shit!
I'm gonna say
I
down.
didn't say any of that.
Split. Okay, so you yell down. I would say you're close to pretty much everyone in the group. Are you taking any actions instantly?
I'll grab who's closest and push them to the ground.
You tell me who's closest.
I don't know.
Roll it.
Who would have been on point? Yeah.
Eugene's closest.
Eugene? Okay. I grab
Yeah.
him. I'm going to push him to the ground.
All right. Jimmy, you also see this glint, and you hear the marshal shout down. And what do you do instantly?
I'll drop.
Okay. All right.
Now, rather than like just dropping, I will try to get behind some cover.
Sure. There's trees.
Yeah, I try to duck behind a tree.
All right. With that, you all hear the snap of a gunshot.
Ow.
Eugene, you're dead. Dead, Eugene.
No, Eugene got pulled to the ground.
Dead.
Nick's dead.
Bye, Nick.
You get shot right in the head. There's a crack of a gunshot, and a tree that you are walking by about 2 feet over your head, Lester. There's a splintering of wood that kind of showers down on you, and you hear a shout from the hill up ahead. It says, "Don't come any closer! I'll shoot you dead where you stand." What do you guys do?
I'm going to crawl to a tree and put the tree between me and the gunner.
Jimmy's gonna call over to Leland. Hey, make sure it's not that other dad and his kid before you go shooting them.
I'm going to pull out my gun. But then I'll shout, "Federal Marshal, put your weapon down!"
Is anyone else doing something?
So are we like in the middle of the road? Is that
You're following, not really. You're kind of wandering through the woods at this point. You were following the trail of the kidnappers' footprints, which you guys were rolling awesome for your survival checks or tracking checks. So you've been following those. You're kind of in the middle of the woods right now.
all right? Let's see.
That's
Yeah,
the second time you've almost been shot.
Mm-hmm.
Lester's gonna look for some like bushes or something to jump into. And then,
Yeah, sure.
as the marshal is talking to them, he's gonna try to maybe like sneak and circle around where
Flanking,
it seemed like the shot came from. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then I'm going to need from you a stealth roll.
Ooh.
All right.
Oh.
Oh, that's not good. You know what? I'm gonna push it.
Push
You're pushing. All
Real
right.
good.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Ba-na-na-na.
All right. Did you get it? You did get it. Oh, you have a really good stealth. Okay.
yeah, my stealth is pretty good.
Okay, check it. Okay, so you start moving between bush to bush. You almost step down on a branch, but notice it at the last second and sort of shuffle your foot to the side, stumbling a little bit, but catching yourself before you make much noise. And you start to sneak around the hillock. Kind of, there's a little bit of a lesser grade off to the left hand side that you're kind of circling around to flank whoever's up there. How about Eugene and Nick? What are you two doing?
Eugene is just kind of swearing and kind of brushing off his suit.
Mm-hmm.
Father Nick would like to shout back, and he says something like, "My name is Father Nicholas, and we're just simply here to talk. And, well, I don't prefer to be shot at, and I'm sure you don't either. My good friend here, the Marshal, is not afraid to use hostile forces. We just simply want to hear what truly happened." I want to try to persuade him to talk to us.
Okay, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be.
Oh, that's what she said.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard.
I don't think they care.
Yep.
You tried, and that's what counts.
I mean, you could push it.
Yeah, fuck it. He did it, and it was great. God damn it.
That's not great.
Oh, I'm about to get shot. I feel like I'm holding up the Bible while I'm saying that.
Sure. So, you're saying that, and as you do, you are kind of like moving around a little bit. Would you be like heading towards a tree or something, or moving forward a little bit?
Yeah, I think I would be. Yeah, I'd like to think Nick has blind faith. He is like walking towards while holding up a book. He's not hiding at all.
Okay. So I would say, like, as you're walking forward, you're kind of distracted by talking to the guy, and suddenly your foot sinks into a like a hole caused by a root that you didn't see, and you trip, twisting your ankle in the process with a sharp crack. You suffer.
Who wants to carry me?
You suffer 2 damage.
Oh no!
And your ankle is twisted, so you are going to be your ankle's pretty hurt. So you're going to have, I don't even know what the skills are. You're going to have a penalty die to some physical stuff.
Okay.
Let's see. Nicholas. I would say probably like climb, jump, swim. Yeah, I think that's good.
Nick's just holding his ankle on the ground going,
I'm going to say, "Father, stay down." And then I'm going to say, "Listen, this doesn't have to get violent. Why don't you just tell me your name first?" I'm going to use persuade too.
"Oh, why did that one work?"
I got to get persuade.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn, you do.
Negotiation.
He I'm Eugene, but I'm not coming back. Y'all can turn around and it won't be a problem. But I'm not coming back. I didn't do it. I didn't do nothing.
Listen, Eugene, you and your friend are in a heap of trouble. But if you come with me now and you do so peacefully, perhaps we can make things a little better for you and your friend.
All. Harris, he isn't my friend. He talked me into it. It was all his idea. I didn't do any of this.
Talked you into what?
Lester, I'm gonna need you. You're kind of circling. You're about to start to climb up the slope at this point.
Mhm.
I want two things. First, I want to know. Let's say you're at the base of this slope, like you snuck up to the hill at this point. Are you continuing? Or are you just going to try to take a position? What do you want to do?
Yeah, he's going to continue to try to get pretty close to Eugene.
Okay. I would like to know at this point what Jimmy and Eugene, the others Eugene, are doing while this talking's happening.
I'm kind of leaning against a tree, listening to the marshal, and I'm just trying to soak in the environment. I don't think Eugene's gonna say anything yet.
Okay.
Jimmy's gonna try to stealthily shift around and see if he can spot anyone else hiding up in the rocks. Like if this is like just a distraction while someone else is gonna shoot us. So he's gonna see if there's anyone else in the area.
Sure. You have a pretty poor vantage point, so I think you're going to roll a spot hidden with a penalty die.
With the penalty die.
Plus 1p.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit!
Hard success.
Hard.
Nice. So you kind of duck around to a tree off to the side, and start peeking around a little bit up there. You feel pretty confident that you don't feel any movement happening where you can see. You do see where he is. You see like the little form, like the top of his head, sort of poking up every once in a while. Like I said, he's about 100 or so feet from you guys. At this point, with a hard success, you actually see Lester is starting to creep up the hill.
Okay. I am going to. What is my range is only 15 yards with my revolver.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna
Yeah, so he's probably like 30 yards away.
Okay.
Wait, that's not math. 50 yards away.
So can you shoot further than your range just at a penalty, or can you just not shoot that far?
That's a really good question.
Okay, regardless, I'm gonna train my gun on him, and I'm gonna softly call over to Leland. He's alone up there.
I'm gonna say.
Okay.
I'm gonna nod at Jimmy and say, "Hold your fire. I want to see if I can get where the girl is." Eugene.
Lester, you're sneaking up. Why don't you give me another stealth?
Okay.
I'm nervous. Oh,
Oh,
Damn.
he's
All
gonna
right.
get garroted, son.
disappears.
All right, so it's gonna take you a few moments, but you're probably gonna be able to get pretty close, like to within close range of your shotgun, without him noticing.
Okay.
Like until
Your
you're
garrote gun.
probably you could. I'm not gonna say you can get up within garrote range with that, but extreme you're gonna get up to like within point blank with your shotgun. I'd probably
Okay.
make you get another roll to, or maybe not actually. We'll see when we get there.
Okay.
But yeah, you're
Yeah, it may
definitely
not
gonna get
come-
really close.
May not come to that.
May not. All right, so he took that girl. I didn't take that girl. I was coerced.
Calm down, Eugene. Where did he take the girl?
He went on without me, son of a bitch. He's
Do
going
you
back
know
to,
where he was going?
going back to the hideout.
All right, Eugene.
You keep a wide berth around me. You'll catch up his trail on the other side of this hill.
Eugene, I'm going to give you one chance to come along peacefully. Otherwise, things may get a little messy.
From where I'm sitting, I have every advantage. And he says,
I'm gonna take my hat off and
Sure.
just kind of stick it around the corner a little bit, as though I'm starting to peek my head out.
okay. Lester, at this point, you're getting pretty close, and you see that he's aiming down the scope at the all of them. He seems to be focusing in on something.
Okay. All right. I'll step up behind him with the shotgun, and I'll say, put the gun down.
All right. So the Eugene has an itchy trigger finger, as established by earlier story where he shot a cop because of an itchy trigger finger. He would never admit that, but so at the surprise, he kind of jerks. I am going to need
Rest in
damn.
peace, Nick.
Leland, Nick, and Eugene to make luck rolls, please.
Oh no! Oh no!
That's not good, Eugene.
Oh, Father Nick's gonna live.
Oh no!
All right.
Luck's not on my side, only the law.
Okay.
Oh Jesus.
I just rolled a critical fail. I rolled a 99 on this. That's funny. Okay, so what happens is you sneak up behind him and you say, put the gun down. Immediately, his arm jerks as he kind of is swinging towards you. And there's a gunshot that echoes through the forest. The bullet cleanly puts a hole through the brim of your cap, Leland.
Holy!
But also you see that in turning around, Leland or Lester, in turning around, he kind of like jerked the gun away from his shoulder where he wasn't holding it well, and the kickback of the gun actually slams the scope into his eye. And you hear a glinting shatter as it like jams into his eye socket, and he goes, "Ah, son of a bitch!" and he starts like rolling on the ground. There's just like broken glass around his face. He starts rolling around, clutching at his face.
Did he drop the gun?
Yeah, at this point he's dropped the gun.
Okay, I'm gonna. I'll just try to restrain him, I guess.
All right. You see, as you're kind of like kind of hog tying him in a way, getting his arms behind him and kneeling. Getting him on the ground. You notice that there's actually a big wet spot on his side, about like 6 inches across, and there's actually most of his right pant leg is soaked with blood too.
All right, yeah, I'll just kind of restrain him until somebody else comes up.
All right. Did you call down anything?
Yeah, I guess I'll say
you can't really see anyone down there from where you are. I'm going to say you're back from the rocks a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll just shut down. I got him. It's safe. Guns down.
Okay.
I'm gonna put my hat back on after putting my finger through the hole he made.
Uh huh.
I'm gonna walk up with my gun still drawn.
Jimmy grabs all of his knuckles in his neck 3 times and then follows.
All right. Yeah. So you're at the top of the hill. You see that there's a gun that's kind of like skittered on the ground about 10 feet away from what you see the spectacle of Lester kneeling, kind of holding down the guy's arms behind his back, Eugene's arms behind his back. Eugene
well done,
Clayton.
son. Did you learn that in the infantry?
Yeah, among other things.
I'll take it from here. I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna use my oh dang it.
You probably have
Handcuffs.
right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna handcuff him.
Sure. As you're doing that, yeah, you see his eye is just like a bloody mess. Already his eyelids are kind of like swelling over, and there's like scratches and where the scope lens kind of cracked on his face. And he's saying, I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing. It's a free country. You can't do this to me.
What happened to you, son?
Jimmy punches him in the gut.
Oh, boy. Cool.
And as he he just gives like a swift punch in the gut, really not trying to do a lot of damage, just knock the wind out of him.
Okay.
And then he sort of stands him back up and glares into his face and says, "It's time to talk."
I advise that you do what the boy says, Eugene. We need to know where that girl is.
What's Nick and Eugene doing? Nick and Eugene, brother Williams.
Nick
Can
Nick
see that he's bleeding?
Up the top, sure.
I would imagine I wouldn't have stayed down below.
Mm-hmm.
I think
You
Nick
can
would
get up.
try to inspect the wound if he's pretty tied up. Eugene is quietly swearing in the corner, kind of wiping off his clothes.
I'll say right now I have him stood up and I'm just kind of holding his arm.
Yeah, I just want to inspect it, see what his wound looks like, see if he's still bleeding.
Looks like a pretty gnarly looking. It's very red and tender. Kind of pock marks all over his skin. If you pull up his shirt, it looks like he got hit with a shotgun blast there. So there's a lot of shot holes in his skin.
Marshall,
very inflamed.
He looks pretty wrecked here. I'm sure I could try to patch him up a little bit if you need me to.
Well, what happened here, Eugene? You and Sydney had a little disagreement? A little falling out? Lover's quarrel?
I don't lean that way, man. He huffs and he's kind of catching his breath from when Jimmy hit him. I was just minding my business and walking through the woods, and you all came around and I didn't do anything with that girl.
I'm gonna turn him around and grab him by the chin and get real close to his face. Don't you give me that bullshit. Where is Clay, or where is Harris, and where is your hideout?
You can roll an intimidate with a bonus.
I will. I'll bonus some. Regular success.
Regular success. All right. Sydney, he went on without me. I was going too slow. Said he was taking the girl back to the hideout. It's through the woods here. Probably won't make it tonight, but tomorrow. It's maybe, I don't know, maybe 10 miles away.
All right, I'm gonna kind of push him away, so he falls to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Clean him up, Father. We'll take him with us, and he'll take us to that hideout.
Oh, I don't want to go back to the hideout.
You don't have a choice, son. You made that very clear when you shot at us just now.
Mm-hmm.
Andy, I'd like to kind of get over to him where he's on the ground, and I look at the wound again, and I pull out a couple of I rip off my sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
I already had him off.
No, they were kind of pushed up. Now they're gone. I just
show your guns.
Just pop that shirt off, Father. Just pop it off.
And I lean in real close, and I say quietly, there's a lot of evil in this world. There's good. There's evil. Hopefully you're on the good side, not the evil ones, are you? And I kind of just push a little hard on his wound, and then I start cleaning him up.
Oh boy! All right.
Oh, can I use my first aid? No. Well, I pushed on him real hard.
Can can Lester aid the father with the first aid?
Second aid.
I don't know if you can
Yeah,
do like
you can roll.
a supporting roll or something.
Yeah, that would normally give you a bonus die, but you could. It's effectively you could just roll it again.
Okay.
You want me to roll it? Okay.
No, he can roll it.
No, you don't want me to roll it.
No, okay. No, that's okay. It wasn't like it was.
Push it. Push it.
He's bleeding
Push
now.
it.
I killed him.
Yeah, he's sweating a little bit.
And he's dead.
Nope.
It's clear that.
I'm like leaning on his side at this point.
All right, so we pushed it. So as you're pushing and you're poking around at him, you see that I would say everyone but Father Nicholas can tell that this guy is kind of feverish in the moment. He's kind of sweaty and breathing a little hoarsely. And as the father is kind of poking around with the wounds, he lets out like a little gasping yell and passes out, either from the pain or exhaustion or combination.
I'm gonna go Cripes, and I don't know why I was Australian there, but
Crikey!
Crikey. I'm gonna get down
That's
and
not north.
I'm gonna try to inspect him this time with Lester's help with my first aid.
Yeah, it looks like
Sorry, this
the wound
ankle
isn't
is bothering
bleeding.
me.
The wound isn't bleeding anymore, but it does look like it's infected at this point.
What's
He
your
is
first
kind of
aid,
feverish.
Lester?
54.
All right, then I will assist you because I'm a 45.
I could have made it with a 30. Could have been good.
Should I roll with a bonus die or something?
Sure.
Damn.
There you go.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
Stream.
That's what I was trying to do. Good work.
That's what I was doing.
Use the sleeves. Yeah. Just
Why'd
like
you guys
that.
interrupt? That's what I was doing.
I was getting there.
Oh, those
So
biceps are too huge.
What's the goal, Lester? What are you hoping to do?
Kill it.
Well, it seemed like he was still bleeding.
He's not bleeding too much.
okay.
You think the
Might be
infection's a bigger
infected.
problem right now?
All right. Can I see like any sort of pellets or shot or anything within the wound itself?
Yeah. You probably could dig some of them out.
Yeah, I
mean,
guess.
Shit.
Yeah, since he's
it would
passed
take
out.
a long time to dig out like a full contingent of buckshot out of this guy.
Yeah, not all of, just like maybe the biggest pieces.
Sure. Yeah, you would
with your
guess.
Fingers, you just reach in.
You got a knife? You got a knife? You can
Oh,
rot it out.
Eugene hands him his small switchblade.
I think I have a knife.
Okay.
Can
Yeah, you
He
can
just
get out.
puts
You
it
can get
away.
out a.
I'm
some
not
of-
going to use
some
the
of
rusted
shot.
bayonet.
Ghost bayonet.
It has blood on it already.
Ghost in it.
All right. Yeah, you can get some of the shot out. Yeah. You think that probably without medical help, the infection's probably going to be pretty bad for this dude. But I mean, he's not immediately dying.
Yeah. Do we care? He's gonna die anyways, right?
He's taking
Oh,
us from the hideout.
Did somebody have any alcohol earlier?
Jimmy does.
We're gonna
Yeah.
glare at Jimmy.
Lester will
Yes.
nod over to Jimmy. Hey, you think I could get a little of that hooch?
Hooch.
Good old hooch.
Yeah, Jimmy winks at Leland and tosses his flask over.
Lester
Glad
pour a
they
little of
told
the
you.
hooch on the wound.
Sure. I'll say probably you've already taken a few drinks out of it too. Probably there's only enough left for like another one more after this. Don't have an endless flask here.
No.
Yeah. You pour it over, and with that, Eugene lets out a yell and his eyes pop open. Again, son of a bitch!
Now, listen here, son. I think I might have bought you some time, but it's be best if you just tell us what you know so we can get you back as soon as possible.
That girl was looked after. We didn't do anything bad to her. She was healthy last time I saw her before the shootout. Oh, that's right. I said that Harris took the girl, but he didn't have the girl. I saw her. She was at the hideout before the shootout. Harris was going back to collect her, and I don't know. I think he was going to try again with the ransom and up the money this time. He's going back to the hideout. He shakes his head and kind of blinks, a little bit bleary still.
My friend's correct, and you don't have much time. We better get moving.
No, you got to take me back to town. I'm going to die out here.
You're going to take us to that hideout, and then we'll see what we can do. Get him.
He opens his mouth to protest.
And I'm going to kind of push him forward. My gun trained on him. Get going.
You're not acting like the law. You're acting like a thug.
I'm acting like somebody whose job it is to find a missing girl, and I'm going to do just that. Get moving.
All right. So he starts moving. He's moving pretty slow. You can tell he's looking a little bit more awake after the cleaning and buckshot. But you know he's still stumbling a little bit. You can tell he's still on the weary side. He's moving slower than Nick. I'll just say that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But you guys want to keep pushing on? It looks like you probably have a couple more hours until it's going to be dark out.
Can Eugene look around for that gun that's on the ground?
Sure. There's a rifle. Yeah, there's a rifle. It has a busted scope on it, but
yeah, Eugene would like to pick that up.
Yeah, it looks like a nice kind of hunting rifle. I think it's a rifle. Let's call it a it's a 30 lever action carbine. I'm dragging it to you now.
Oh, thank you. Yay, that's my gun.
There it is. Yeah, so you definitely malfunctioned.
Got it.
Wait a second. I'm now realizing that I better open up the library. Firearms table. This is not. There's so many weapons. I was just looking that the range on the one I showed you, the carbine, it doesn't actually have a very good range. So probably it's going to be something more like not an AK-47.
Oh yeah, definitely that.
There's a 30-06 bolt action rifle. It's got 110-yard range.
Oh hell yeah!
It says era 1920s and modern.
Nice. Yeah. So it's a 30-06, and there are 3 more bullets left in it. By the way.
Woot woot.
Actually, sorry, 2 more bullets because he had 4 to start with, and he shot 2.
Are you dragging that to my inventory?
Yeah. Not to your inventory, but boom.
Ah, thank you.
Okay.
So I have 3 more bullets.
It is after a couple hours. It is drawing towards dusk. He every once in a while, he maintains that he didn't do anything to the girl. He didn't shoot any cops. I don't care what people said. I didn't shoot any cops. And I don't want to come this way. There's folks in these woods that attacked me. This is a dangerous place. It was probably you following me and attacked me, and followed me today and attacked me again with that shotgun and sneaky ass sneaker.
Eugene's gonna pipe up for once and be like, wait. There's other people in the woods?
I shot him. I swear I shot him. Which of you did I shoot?
Well, you shot at us earlier. Before that, was there more people in these woods?
There was somebody following me. It was one of you following me. and last night came on me in the camp after Sydney left, and I shot him. I swear I shot him.
If you shot us, then how are we standing here? This man makes no sense.
I shot him and he walked right off. But I know I shot him.
Wasn't us, Eugene. It sounds like that infection is starting to go to your head.
Jimmy gets really close to Eugene's face and says, "It was Ghost you shot."
You just fucking with him, or do you want to roll something?
No, Jimmy thinks it was a ghost. He's
Oh,
also,
okay.
Like, yeah, he's fucking with him a little, but also like.
Jimmy, there are no such things.
It was a bad.
You guys also recall that the truck driver you met mentioned there being gunshots last night.
Ah, that's
Because
true.
remember, you guys failed your all of your listen rolls last night. So yeah, the truck driver mentioned. That's why he said he wasn't surprised to hear that there was a dead kid, because he heard gunshots the night before.
Gotcha.
You guys know that it definitely wasn't the kid that got shot.
Right, he got stabbed.
Mhm.
Stabbed.
But Eugene shot a ghost.
There's a lot going on in these woods.
Yeah.
All right. So it is growing towards dusk. Do you guys and Eugene Clayton says he looks super weary at this point, but he says it's probably another 3-4 hours.
I'm gonna stop, and I'm going to take him and sit him against a tree.
Mm-hmm.
You stay there. We'll spend the night here, and resume in the morning.
All right. So you guys are setting up a camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marshall's gonna keep
Alright.
his gun trained on Eugene and take the first watch.
Sure. First watch for Marshall.
Can the father stay up and try to, like, fix his ankle?
Sure. Yeah. Someone gonna try to help the father with his sprained ankle?
Can I use my medicine now? It's so much better.
Sure. Yeah. Since you're sitting down for like an hour or so to like do some legitimate time.
Father reaches up to rip another sleeve off and realizes he doesn't have one, so he just rips part of his outfit out on the bottom. And then he starts wrapping it around his ankle. Don't screw it up. Son
Oh
of
my
a
God.
bitch!
Do you want to push it?
I'm pushing it.
Push
I'm
it.
pushing
Push
it.
it.
This goddamn ankle.
Oh, you break it. It's broken.
You cut off circulation and it dies.
Oh my god.
The Williams brothers are not going to make it out of here. I just want everyone to know that now.
Okay.
Fuck.
Oh boy.
I'm just screaming in agony. Why won't anyone help me?
Just tying a thing around his ankle.
All right. So it doesn't. Your penalty does not get any worse.
Oh, thank God.
You're not able to get it any better. But until you go to a hospital to get this thing looked at, you know that it's just too far erect. The best thing you could do is hope to like stabilize it at this point. But I'm going to say that your botch on the pushing it means that no one else can try to help this for the rest of this adventure.
Just looking at everyone. Why won't you help me? Oh, God.
Oh man.
Just going to roll over and go to sleep. Amazing.
That's funny. Wow. All right. So, what are you guys doing for watches? What do you want to do here?
Eugene would stay up. He'd
Mhm.
kind of look around and then say, well, I could take a watch if no one else needs to.
Sounds like we had the marshal volunteering for first watch.
Maybe
Yep.
I'll take one.
You just tell me your order.
I'll take second.
Lester will double up with somebody. Just
Probably
since last time we missed out on the gunshots, just in
Mhm.
case.
Lester, you're with me. Why don't you keep an eye on this hooligan?
Sure, I can help.
Shares
Jimmy's
my name.
third.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. So we'll start off with Leland. Why don't you make an extreme spot hidden roll?
Shit. Extreme!
You'll probably make it. Okay.
Fail.
Oh, damn.
It just goes
You want to push it?
No.
Push it. Everyone's pushing it.
All right.
No, Abe, you're pushing it.
Don't worry, Eugene's gonna push it here in a moment.
All right. Leland, during your watch, you have this like tingling in the back of your neck. You feel certain that you are being watched, but you don't see anything.
It's just someone
Intuition
playing
tells
jazz.
you. Probably. Intuition tells you. Speaking of. Okay. So that was Leland. Second watch is what, Eugene and Lester?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You want us to do it
At about
extreme?
midnight.
Oh god.
At about right at about midnight, Eugene and Lester, you both are already awake, but everyone in the camp hears this and is woken up by it. There is an explosion in the distance to the north. Lester and Eugene, as you like jerk around to look towards the north, you can see a faint blue light that seems to be reflecting off the base of the clouds that you see through the trees for a few moments in that direction. But everyone's woken up by a loud explosion.
In the north, which is where the dig site is.
You don't know where the dig site is.
No,
Is this the direction we were heading?
It's kind of the direction the road was going. But yeah, it's the direction you're heading, north.
So it's towards where we're heading.
Kinda.
you know how far away it is?
Not really.
I guess we just heard it. Or tell a sound.
Yeah, you see some light. Looks like light kind of lingering and reflecting off the base of the clouds, but and then it goes away fairly quickly. You don't actually see the light. Just Lester and Eugene would see the light, and just stays for a few seconds and then goes away.
Shit, what was that?
I don't know.
Is Eugene awake? Does he look startled by that?
Eugene Clayton, yeah, he's like, what the fuck is happening in these woods?
Thought you could tell us.
You trying to explode me? I didn't do nothing. I didn't touch that girl.
You know anything about that excavation site, Eugene?
What?
Strong's boys. Up
Yeah,
here,
they got-
up in the woods,
They
surveying
got
stuff.
gold and diamonds. We're gonna get all his money. We're gonna get all his money by selling him a girl.
So that's your plan. Sell the girl to the father for all his money. You do know that the father has put out a $5,000 reward for the both of you, dead or alive.
He blinks at you a few times. I
Not
didn't
to
say
mention-
that's my plan.
Not to mention $25 a day. Quite frankly, Mr. Clayton, I don't care if you live or die. But I want to find that girl.
His head, it kind of sways, and he just blinks blearily at you. That girl's in the cabin. She's healthy and fine. We're gonna sell her for lots of diamonds. Hey, you look like a fellow who likes diamonds.
For
He
your
says-
own sake, that girl better be okay. As for the rest of the stuff that just came out of your mouth, shut it.
Can Eugene make I don't know what kind of check that would be, but does he know of any kind of natural explosive that could make a blue like hue like that?
Do you have a skill in mind?
I mean,
Science.
Science, yeah.
yeah. Is there a science roll?
Science.
Might be
Or-
one you have to have as a
Yeah,
part of your
you-
profession.
Well, and you can choose like different sciences.
Oh, I was thinking, I don't know, like natural world or something. Or I could use my library use. I do a lot of that reading.
Yeah, natural world would be fine.
Oh, it's gonna suck. Yep. Nope.
You want to push it?
Nope. Nope.
Okay.
Eugene's leg breaks.
It just implodes. I don't know what could cause a blue explosion like that, but some kind of hue over the horizon to the north. Eugene, how close to your hangout was that explosive?
He kind of blearily looks. I don't know. We're kind of this way. I think around this way. And he kind of points off towards the north, like a little bit west of where you guys heard the explosion from. But it's definitely not pointing in the direction of the explosion.
Just gonna look at the marshal. How do we actually know we could trust this one?
I've never done something untrustworthy in my life.
Says the person who stole a human being.
At that, y'all hear some rustling coming from the woods to your east, and kind of coming through the woods, you see a small group of people heading in your direction. They're probably about 50 feet away right at the moment, and they're just sort of walking through the trees towards your fire. I assume you had a fire. Do you have a fire?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I pull my gun up.
I will.
Hold this casually down by his leg.
There's like a chunk of eyebrow on the scope of your rifle.
Ew.
Oh, oh
I'm
God.
gonna pull my gun out and aim my flashlight that way. That's
Sure.
a newfangled contraption that I carry.
All right. As you flash it up, you see the face of. It takes you a moment to recognize, but you do after a second recognize the kind of the startled faces of several townsfolk from Bennington. This is another posse,
I gotcha.
and they are kind of like all holding their hands up in front of their faces at this light that's shining at them.
I'll put my gun down and the flashlight down.
Eugene does not.
Whoa, we don't mean any harm. We're just traveling through the woods.
I recognize you. Part of the search party.
Yeah, my name's Chuck. Oh, Marshall. He just kind of nods at you. We weren't expecting to bump into anyone else out here.
How many ghosts have you seen?
They all kind of like glance among each other, like confused, and like look at you. Ghosts. I just heard that explosion from the north. I gotta say we're kind of we're all not feeling very well. We're all tired, and Flo over there, she's coming down with the sickness, we think, and we're getting out of these woods.
You been having dreams? Weird things been happening? Guts feel strange?
At the mention of the dreams, they all kind of like glance amongst each other, and they're saying, "There's just something wrong about these nights in the woods. We're ready to be back in town."
But have you seen anything? Have you heard anything? Or is it just a feeling? I need specifics.
Sure. What do you want to roll?
Intimidate.
Go for it. You want to push it?
No, I'm going to spend 4 of my luck to succeed.
Okay, you don't get a check for that.
Okay.
All right. So they all look startled, and one of the people in the back says, "Yeah, I had a dream. I dreamed about a lake. I just something evil in here. I think it's Satan.
He walks among us, says Father Nick.
The Chuck looks a little bit embarrassed at this little outburst, and he's saying, "Yeah, we've all been having some restless nights out here, and not one of us has had a good wink of sleep. And frankly, with the explosions and the gunshots we've been hearing, we feel really bad about Jane. But we talked about it, and we're heading back towards safety."
I think that's a good idea, Chuck. We're getting closer to finding Harris. We can take it from here.
He glances down towards Eugene Clayton, and at that point, Clayton actually speaks up and says, "You got to get me back to town. You got to get me back to town. There's things out here trying to eat me." And Chuck's looks surprised for a second, then looks towards you, Marshall.
Mr. Clayton has agreed to help us find his accomplice.
What tried to eat you?
People in the woods. I shot them all. They keep going.
These people in the woods that you keep talking about, are they the ones that gave you that nasty wound on your side?
No, that was the cop I shot.
Gotcha.
He just blinks bleary-eyed again, and then his lips become like a thin, tight white line. Well, Marshall, if you wanted, this man does look in poor health. We could take him back.
Is there anybody with medical training amongst you?
One of the men kind of raises their hand and says, "I'm a school teacher. I deal with some health issues of the kids. I know how to change a bandage. I mean, most of us do."
Take a look at him.
Are you looking at my ankle? Tell me you're looking at my ankle.
Nobody can help you. Nobody can help you.
No one can help you. No one can help you.
I've just ripped my ankle off.
No. They go and they're wincing as they look at the gunshot, buckshot. None of them are nearly as trained as Lester is, though, for sure.
I'm going to say thank you for your input, and I'm just going to have a little chat with Mr. Clayton here. All right, and I'm going to pick Eugene up. I'm going to kind of walk him off to somewhere kind of remote.
Mm-hmm.
And shoot him.
And I'm going to slam him up against a tree.
Okay.
And say, and pull my gun out. I'm going to put it under his chin.
Mm.
I'm going to say, "Listen to me, you trash. It's your lucky day because I'm sending you back with these kind folks. But before I do, you better tell me exactly where that hideout is so that there is no doubt in my mind of where to find it and where to find Sidney Harris. Now, I'm going to give you to the count of 5 before I change my mind." I'm going to intimidate him.
Sure. You have a bonus die.
Get your ugly, yeller, keister off my property.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Nice. Okay. Yeah. So he's delirious at this point, and he's out of it and already scared and in handcuffs. So he basically just says, "You keep following this path we were on, and you keep following to the north, and you're gonna take a turn at the hill with the oak trees. Right past that, you're gonna see a cabin out there, and that's what we were using. It's surrounded by a grove of oaks, and that's where the girl is, and that's where Harris is going, and that's where Hobbs is. Hobbs was holding the girl there. But we weren't gonna hurt her. We didn't hurt her.
Write my notes here. Hold on. Hobbs.
Dobbs, sorry, it was
Sec-
Dobbs.
Dobbs.
Yep, Dobbs. Dobbs.
Second accomplice? Question mark.
Mm.
Yeah, he looks scared.
Okay. I'm gonna.
And-
Yeah, I'm
and
just
out
gonna
of it.
kind of stare him in the eyes and just kind of look back and forth between his two eyes.
He is having a super hard time
Yeah.
like focusing. You can tell his eyes are just like twitching about and his head's bobbing a lot.
And then I'm gonna bring my gun down and say, "You look like shit." I'm gonna turn him back around and walk him back to the other group.
Okay. We can get him back to town, Marshall. Don't worry. We're not armed, but we can handle him.
Keep an eye on him. He likes to talk, so if you need to shut him up, do what you have to.
Lester will pipe up. What about the body? That artist.
That's right. We found a body in the woods. I believe it's one of the art students. We set up a little smoke signal above the body. Don't know if anybody has seen it.
I did see that.
Lester, do you think you could guide them to where it is? Verbally?
Lester. Well, sure. And then Lester will try to give him, directions as best he can.
Sure,
About 4
yeah, you can lead
feet
'em.
down the road there, you're going to look for a fork. Now, you don't want to take the fork. Just leave it there. Then take a left.
You want to go down to where the mossy rock used to be?
See a bush of gooseberries.
Trouble is, I damn near picked them all.
They were so delicious. I love me some gooseberry pie.
Yeah, you can give them directions, and these folk, at least a couple of them, seem like they're fairly comfortable with these woods, anyways. So they seem to have a decent idea of what you're talking about. And we saw the smoke yesterday, so we were heading in that direction, anyways. We figured that was where someone made camp.
Well, then, be careful. As Jimmy said, it's strange in these woods. Won't deny that.
I said there were ghosts.
I know what you said.
Chuck stares you for a long
Shut your
moment right in the eye, Marshall.
Mhm.
Just a long moment. He just stares at you and says, "You be careful too." And they start walking off.
I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all.
He probably dreamed he died.
I shoot him. Shoot him in the back. Oh my
Okay,
god.
he's dead.
Oh,
He's
sorry.
dead.
You should roll and fail and push it. See what happens.
Yes. All right.
That's me. Ugh.
Yep.
It's Eugene in the background.
Every time you guys do that, I feel like I've done something right. Okay. So, they start heading off into the woods. They seem unconcerned that it's dark. They may be tired, but they're determined to push through the night.
EFO.
Yep. So going back to sleep.
Suppose.
Yeah.
All right.
Now I know where we're going.
All right. Finishing out the night. I need everyone. Wait. No, I don't need everyone. I need to look at a chart. Un momento, por favor.
And he has
I've
a work
never-
chart.
I do have a chart. Oh shit! Oh shit! Where is it?
Where you chart at?
Where that chart at? There it is. Okay. All right. While y'all are sleeping,
I mean, we're keeping watches still.
huh?
Okay.
Yeah, this is taking into account the watches. All right. Should have given everyone a dream.
Andy, the first one you gave me, which one was that for?
Eugene.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Andy, do I still have the original dream you gave me too?
No, that'll fade. That's supplanted by this.
Okay, sweet and crappy. Got it.
Which I believe some people are going to have to make some sanity checks.
Yep. You roll your current sanity, right?
Yep.
Make a roll for 1d3/1d10 sand loss. What does that mean?
So if you make it, you lose 1d3. If you fail it, you lose 1d10.
Shit.
Oh, fuck. Alright, so how do I make... Oh my god, there's
Oh,
Yeah.
no way. Fuck! Okay. So
Oh, damn.
roll for... So I lose 1d6. Okay.
Let's just have the dream.
Oh, fudge!
Maximum sanity loss. I don't know.
Sorry, what?
The maximum sanity
All the
loss.
dreams, or just some of the dreams indicated this roll?
It's at the end of the dream. It'll say on the end of the dream.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. You
Oh,
got
that hurts. That hurts so much.
you got the path. You got the path one?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think that one had.
Didn't
Yeah.
mention that.
Some of them do.
Yeah, so Father Nick wakes up screaming his head off.
Oh
Mhm.
no.
And he looks completely terrified. He's holding his, like, rosary. He's out of breath, and he's just screaming.
All right.
Leland kind of does the same thing. He wakes, he's kicking his legs against the ground, and he's grasping his chest, screaming.
Father Nicholas, because you fumbled, you actually lose the maximum amount.
Oh god, that hurts so much.
Maximum sanity.
It's only 17. I'm probably okay.
You're down to 17.
Yeah,
Woof.
it's cool. It's cool.
It's
I
only
started
one more
only
sanity.
with like 25. It was good.
Okay. I also need both Leland and Father Nicholas to roll your intelligence.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that's not good. It's not good.
Okay, cool.
There you go. Hard
Uh,
success.
Hard
well,
No, we
Well-
don't want those. We don't want those at all.
Oh,
perversely,
that's
if,
right.
if the int roll succeeds, you recognize the full significance of what has been seen or experienced, and you go temporarily insane.
Yep. No, it's fine. Eugene's gonna walk over and just smack Father Nick right in the face. Get a hold of yourself. Call yourself
What
a
does
man of faith.
temporary insanity do?
Well,
I'm about to
Um,
find out.
both temporary and indefinite insanity take the investigator through two distinct phases of insanity. First, you experience a short bout of madness.
Madness.
Then this is followed by a longer period of underlying insanity, which
Neat.
lasts until you have fully recovered. Cool. So bouts of madness. I need you both to roll me a 1d10, please.
No, I don't want to do that.
4. 4 is good, right?
Two could either be really great or really bad.
All right. So I'm gonna type these to you.
Uh-oh.
Well, because these are role playing opportunities, really.
Play.
How do I slash?
Father Nick
W?
has a beat up leg, woke up screaming, and he's currently insane.
Right. Oops. Copy paste these. That'll be easier.
Oh.
So that's that. That's your bout of madness. Then
Madness!
Nicholas. I'm whispering this to Eugene just because it's easier to type.
No, it's fine.
What'd you roll in 8? No, what'd you roll in your D10?
I rolled
two.
a 2. Gonna gnaw off my own foot.
So I'm gonna say that would be your legs.
Oh my god.
So I'm gonna say that lasts for about like a minute. So
I can't
you
move my
have
legs. I can't move them. The evil in these woods it's getting me. Eugene's just gonna slap him again.
I'm gonna walk over to the father, and I'm gonna heavily just push Eugene aside, and I'm gonna grab the father by the collar, and get real close to his face. And I said, "You're the one that said we should let him go.
But my legs, I can't move them.
Now we're gonna be lost out here,
I don't care
stuck in these
anymore.
forsaken woods because you made me let him go."
Jimmy's gonna pull Leland off of the father and kind of
I crumble to the
shove him
ground.
back.
I can't move him.
All right, and I'm gonna as he's pulling me off of him, I'm just gonna kind of wave my arms back and just move back from Jimmy, and I'm gonna pull my gun. You wanted those hunters to kill me. You wanted them to kill me so that I wouldn't be able to find the girl. You're one of them.
Jimmy's
Lester-
gonna slowly put his hand towards his gun.
Okay.
Lester's gonna fire his shotgun in the air.
Okay.
Hey now, y'all get a hold of yourselves.
I'm gonna swing my gun from Lester to Jimmy, to Lester to Jimmy, to Lester to Jimmy.
Uh-huh.
Jimmy's gonna put his hand on his gun and say, "Copper, you put that down right now before I make you."
What did you call me? And I'm gonna charge him.
Okay.
Can Eugene just try to swing the butt of the gun at the back of his head?
Sure.
Yeah, clothesline me as I charge Jimmy.
That's my goal.
I'll pay him.
I'm going to, for the sake of this, I think it's safe to assume that Leland's a little bit blinded by his condition at the moment. Yep. So why don't you roll your attack for
Brawl?
Brawl, I
Roll
think.
my brawl.
Yeah, brawl works.
Oh, sorry, him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, no. So actually, I think the idea with this is that actually, I think you can't miss. Honestly, like if you're sneaking, you don't miss unless it's a critical
Oh,
miss.
okay.
If the person's kind of like unaware of you.
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
I think for the scene it works. That if you're. All right, so yeah, you club him on the side of the head, and I'll say this is probably a convenient time, Leland, for your bout of madness to pass.
Okay.
It was only supposed to last 1d10 rounds, so I think now's about good.
Okay.
So you get clocked and you suffer. Go ahead and roll your brawl damage. It should be like 1d. I think it's 1. Yeah, there you go. Nice. So you take
It was a
3.
big rifle.
You suffer 3 damage as you get clocked,
Oh, sorry.
Leland.
Okay. I'm gonna fall to the ground, kind of holding the side of my head.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think it's about time we
Shit.
all settle down.
Jimmy's
What
just
the-
glowering at Leland with like fist clenched, like jaw bulging, like looks like he might haul off and punch him in any second.
Jimmy, think of the baby. Think of your beautiful wife. Just these woods are causing us all to go a little delirious. Read about this in books.
What the hell? Ah, my head.
Jimmy kicks his gun away.
Nick stands up and goes, "It's a miracle!" And then just kind of hobbles back on his ankle.
Oh. Hey.
Those individuals planted seeds of doubt in our head about the brain and the power of dreams. I have to admit I had some sort of strange dreams myself, but we need to get a hold of ourselves and find this girl. And Marshall, pull yourself together. Sorry about your face.
I don't know what came over me. I apologize. Jimmy, I'm sorry. Lester, forgive me. Father, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get up and just kind of rub my head and just kind of walk off into the woods just a little bit away from the group and just kind of flask. Nope, just to get some couple breaths of air. No, the marshal's a dry man. He respects the U.S. Prohibition Act.
Jimmy is gonna drain his glass.
All right. Side effects 1. Just
Side
reading over
effects?
these real quick.
What?
So you guys are now into your temporary insanity. So it's lasting a certain number of hours, which I already rolled. While you guys are considered temporarily insane, any sanity damage will trigger that same bout of madness you just had.
Same one? Oh,
Yep.
damn.
Yep, because that is what's linked to this temporary insanity
man.
you guys are suffering.
So, any sanity damage.
Any sanity, any source of sanity until you've recovered from this temporary insanity will trigger a bout of madness.
All right, this is gonna be great.
Great.
Just-
I'm good.
Fuck.
I'm good.
All right.
And also, if you wish, you're welcome to have that bout of madness sort of be kind of like a role playing tick for you. While you have this temporary insane, you can have like remnants of those bouts of madness, like as sort of your side effect of your temporary insanity. But that's totally a role playing choice. But you guys, I have rolled. You are going to be temporarily insane, Leland for 6 hours, and Father Nicholas for 7 hours.
Damn it.
Good,
It's gonna
good,
be
good.
fun. Oh,
So
dang.
you have about an hour until dawn at this point.
Well, did anyone bring
all of you-
rations?
All of you feel very like you probably couldn't go back to sleep. I'm sure Lester has some game that he's been killing along the way.
Yeah.
I'll come back to the camp and put my overcoat back on.
Uh,
My jacket.
I light 2 cigarettes and I hand one to the marshal.
I'll take it and take a big long drag on it.
Mm-hmm. It's all the way to the filter.
I'm gonna just toss it to the ground. Thank you.
That's how real men smoke.
We should move. That's right.
Eugene like embarrassedly puts it out after like one puff and just throws it on the ground.
Stops on it a couple times. Ooh.
Is it like still pitch black? Like how dark is it right now?
No, it's starting to get gray. Like
Okay,
you
okay.
would
I was
imagine.
like, we're just like
dawn's on its
trouncing
way.
off. in the
No,
middle.
no,
Okay,
no.
Got it.
No, it's starting. It's a little bit early, but no birds are singing.
Clayton told me the way to go. It's this way.
All right.
Lester's gonna. He has a pocket watch that he pulls out, and he's kind of like opening and closing and opening and closing. Marshall, you gonna be all right?
I'll be fine, but I think I'm gonna take the rear. And he kind of looks, with his eyes kind of squinted at everybody.
I think you're gonna take point, so we can keep our eyes on you.
Maybe I'm not the one who needs to have his eyes kept on.
Jimmy's
That didn't really make sense.
You got eyes with the keeping that.
Keep it.
Jimmy says, I trust you even less this morning than I did yesterday, which wasn't much. There's no way in hell you're walking behind me through these woods.
I'm gonna give the western squint to Jimmy.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna say, let's go. And I'll take point, but every couple of yards, the marshal turns around and looks at the party just to make sure everybody's still behind him, which he wasn't doing that before.
Should we walk in a line? Like we're kicking up birds? You don't have to keep looking at us.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
They head off.
Yep,
Jimmy,
marshal.
Jimmy mutters to Lester, "I got eyes on him, and I got your back."
Yep. And Lester just keeps opening and closing that pocket watch.
All right. So I'm going to go grab a drink. I think now's a good drink time.
Drink time.
And then we can pick back up for traveling through the woods again. More woods.
More woods. More travel.
I'll fill up my cask.
More madness.
Madness.
Everyone having fun?
I'm having fun. I think everybody else is getting a drink.
I'm liking all these pre-written stories pretty well.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I'm into it.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm into it. Our first temporary insanities.
It's pretty cool. He's cute. He's a cute kid. Even when he's a stinker butt.
That's interesting. This book, it's clever. They include 2 tables for bouts of madness. One is for if other investigators are present, so you can actually play it out. One is like a summary table, so basically, if rather than like role playing a scene where there's just one person present, you can actually the GM, the keeper, can just like narrate kind of what happened, or give a summary of like recap. Hey, here's what happened during your bout of madness.
That's cool. The madness is a cool thing.
Pretty neat. Pretty neat. Temporary insanity.
Father Nick isn't making it out of these woods.
Yeah, he might go for real
No,
insane.
he's gonna go real quick.
Uh-huh.
He's gonna break off his own foot and beat somebody with it.
I mean, his 80 intelligence really doesn't help him at all.
Yep.
And his, 2 willpower. So, he's fine. He's great. Oh, who needs a jump anyways?
That's right. Right.
Dane, how much hit points do you have?
I have 10. I think.
So
Is that after
you
I punch
could-
you in the face?
You could have used first aid to regain one of those,
On the video.
by the way. First aid, you can do first aid one time for every, basically for every scene, I think, for every combat. So you could have used first aid to heal one of those. I'm positive that Lester could have done it. He's pretty good at first aid.
Yeah, Lester would have helped out.
Roll for it. Crit fail.
Crit fail.
God damn it. I mean, that's good. You did good.
There you go.
He had one on the side of his face, I got. This one on this side. Cat is a mess. Yeah, I'll need to do that, yeah. He needs to go to a groomer.
I need to go to a groomer.
Yeah. What? Oh, I'm sorry.
June 4th.
That's okay, that spooks you out because we're playing a spooky game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh man, we're gonna totally play Mansions of Madness tomorrow. I'm so excited.
The old Emmonsburg jail is going to be on the Travel Channel's Destination Fear.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, my neighbor gives the tours the place. He'll be on there.
He'll be on
Those
the tail of
those
it.
ghost shows are so wacky, though. Like somebody knocks on a wall, and they're like, my neighbor said when they were filming down there, they wanted one of the guards had a story about when he was there. He saw a rocking chair rocking on its own or whatever, and they're like, "Can we get a rocking chair in here?" Just like, come on, guys. What's that? Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Is it Ghost Adventures where it's the frat guy that just walks in and starts yelling at the ghosts? He's like, "Oh, where are you, ghost? Come at me, bro!" So stupid.
I need more of those shows on I don't know, Hulu or Netflix, because
yeah.
we used to watch Ghost Investor. I don't remember what it was, but
Yeah.
I enjoyed them for what they were.
Sure.
But yeah, they were all like, oh, did you hear that? It's like, yep, I just farted. Sorry.
I heard
man.
that. I heard that because you put it in the soundtrack.
It's amazing.
Good night. I wish you a sleeping child.
Are we, I think we're all back. Are we ready?
Ready.
Ready? You want to push it?
Trying to shoot that guy.
All right, so you guys are traveling through the woods. Oh, I need to get back to my thing. All right. Going here. So after 2 or 3 hours of traveling, so you guys are 4 hours into your temporary insanity.
Nice.
You guys approach. You go around the hill as Eugene Clayton described, and ahead of you, you see a clearing. As you approach the clearing, you start to catch whiffs of a bad smell. Smells of death here.
It's a bad smell.
Who's going first?
Lester will go
Okay.
first.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll let Lester go first.
Mm-hmm.
He'll try to sneak up to the cabin.
So we can like see the cabin right now.
You can see the clearing, and yeah, there's a cabin in the middle of it.
I'm gonna skirt around the side.
Yeah, and Eugene would like to
Clearing.
look around for anyone around the cabin while he's walking closer.
Okay. So as you get to the clearing, the smell of death grows stronger. Lester, since you're leading the way kind of most directly, it sounds like you are the first one to see
Death.
a tree. As you break into the clearing a little bit and start looking around, only 2 trees to your left, you see a tree more red than brown, as the bark is soaked with red-brown, sticky blood. As your eyes carry up the trunk of the tree, you see hanging there the corpse of a man impaled upon a broken branch.
Shit.
Ew.
The man has kind of orangish hair and the scruff of a 2-week beard, and he is hanging limp there with. And you see there is a. Yep, that's what you see.
How high up is he? Like abnormally, like he didn't like back into this branch. He's like up in the air.
His feet are about 3 feet off the ground.
Yeah, that's unnatural.
So,
Look.
I would like everyone to roll me a sanity roll.
No. All right, Eugene. Let's see what we got. Oh god.
Nope.
Nope. Father Nicholas falls to the ground, shouting about his legs.
All right, so everyone.
Damn, Jimmy.
Critical success.
Jimmy is
Wow.
a penis.
Hey,
Wow.
You and Lester are like, this ain't shit.
Yeah, Jimmy's like, told you it was fucking ghosts.
Everyone who makes it. So we get 2 extreme successes. Nice. Extreme and a critical. Actually, probably with a critical success on a sanity, I'm actually going to say that Jimmy, you restore 3 sanity.
Wow.
Everyone who failed loses 2 sanity.
God, no.
That guy's just an impaled corpse. What's the big deal, guys?
Come on.
As you, the gruesome nature of this death and the strange unnaturalness of it being lifted off the ground. So yes, they will trigger bouts of madness for the 2 of you.
Yep, Father Nick crumbles to the ground and starts kind of like wiggling his legs that don't seem to be working at all.
You.
Leland looks up at it and goes, "This is all a fucking trap!" And he's gonna run straight toward the cabin and kick open the door.
God. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be so
Okay.
good.
He has a gun out as well.
Sure. Okay. So you're running towards the cabin. You're running from the side. So coming from the side, you see that there's actually a couple of windows. There's a front door. There's only one door, and it's on the front. So if you want to go, you'll have to go around to the front.
I'm gonna actually go against a window on the side,
Mhm.
and then take my hand and just smash out the window.
Sure. What's everyone else doing?
Actually, my elbow.
Okay. Yeah, you can break the glass with your elbow.
And then I'm gonna
without
look in
trouble.
with my gun.
Is there smoke coming from the cabin?
No, but since you're actually taking the time to look at the cabin, you see that the cabin is full of bullet holes.
Oh shit.
There's holes all through this like the wooden walls of this cabin. At all right. At the shout of Leland,
Oh, that can't be good.
No, it's good. It's fine. Everything's just fine. Oh, what?
I need Jimmy, Lester, Eugene, Nicholas to roll me luck, please.
Oh no! I was so close.
Oh,
Fumble.
Damn it.
Oh boy. Nice. Well, I'm not even gonna wait for Rachel to roll because
I'm coming.
we got a fumble here.
Oh
We got a
no!
fumbled luck roll.
Wow, you got a horrible fumble too.
Like the
Yep.
ultimate fumble.
it's all my good rolls catching up to me.
All right.
Karma, bitch.
All right. So there is as Leland charges towards the cabin and breaks out the window. You hear a blast, a fire crack, a shot from the cabin. Lester, you are shot for 3 damage as you kind of spin around and you feel this warmth in your side a little bit as the pellets of a shotgun blast take you in the side. And you hear a shout from the cabin saying, "You give her back now or get the hell away!" Let's roll initiative.
Oh shit!
You give her
Initiative.
back now?
I don't want to
Yep.
do that.
Give her back now or get the hell away.
What is initiative again?
I don't remember.
Oh, that's a really good question.
X.
Oh wait, no,
X.
sorry, there is no initiative. We just go
Yeah, that's
based
right.
on initiative.
Yeah.
So let's add this guy to this. Ooh, he has good initiative.
It looks like I have 4 points of damage already, but I think that's from the last adventure.
Yeah, it could be.
I'm just gonna change that to 3.
Yeah, I feel like I'm fully healed and my sanity's back to
Yeah,
99.
everyone should be. Yep.
I don't think I took any damage this adventure.
Oh, I should probably get rid of Madame Merv. She's not here.
Nope.
Okay,
Fudge.
Jimmy, you're going to be up first.
Nice.
As you see one of the window panes in the front window by the front door of the cabin is broken out, and you saw a shotgun kind of poke out. It seems to be there's a man in there who shouted at you.
Give her back or get out?
Yep, give her back or get the hell out of here.
The hell?
Too bad Father Nicholas's nickname wasn't God's Ankle.
Too soon.
Jimmy says that fucking idiot's gonna get us all killed, and he's gonna try to find some cover.
Yeah, you can duck back behind some trees for sure.
And he's gonna yell to the cabin, "We don't have the girl. We're here to save her."
You hear a ch-ch,
Yeah.
and at this point, he's gonna take a shot at.
I can't be good.
So if you want to, you have to like dodging is your action, right?
So you can, when you're getting shot at, the only thing you can do is diving for cover. Firearms. So let's see. Diving for cover. A target that is being aware of being fired upon may react by diving for cover. This may mean jumping behind a physical bear, throwing oneself to the floor, or ducking and diving at speed. Requires a dodge roll. If this is successful, the target presents a more difficult target and the attacker gets 1 penalty die. It's a desperate response to a desperate situation. Character that opts to dive for cover forfeits their next attack, regardless of whether they were successful or not. If they've already used their attack this round, they forfeit their attack for the following round. The only option available to a character that has dived for cover until their next attack is to dodge further attacks. If an individual with multiple attacks dives for cover, they forfeit all of their attacks, not just a single attack. So, I will say that the shotgun swings over towards Father Nicholas.
Son of a bitch!
Would you like to dive for cover? Wait, your legs aren't working.
Yeah, I'm already like rolling around on the ground.
Oh boy. Yeah. I don't think you can dive for cover, buddy.
Satans are in these woods! Watch out! He's got my legs!
All right, so the shotgun swings around. Since he's actually kind of far from you guys, he is at the far range of the shotgun, so you're only getting 1d6 damage. So you suffer 4 damage as you stumble to the ground due to your psychosomatic legs not working.
It's a real thing, Andy.
The thing swings. Yep, I know. The thing swings down, and you get shot for 4 damage with a shotgun. Father Nicholas, I'm going to do the brothers together. So Nicholas, so he shoots you and he says, "I'm not leaving here until I get the girl. That girl's worth a lot of money." What?
Maybe it was like a good guy or something in there who's trying to save her, but he's just in it for the money. He's just one of the bad guys.
Father Nick is a little distraught, and he shouts out, "Money can't save your soul!" And he's going to look over to Eugene and go,
"Your soul.
It's up to you. You've got to save us." And he just continues to, like, kind of roll around. He'd like to try to crawl over to a tree.
Sure.
If there's enough room, and, like, lean up against it.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, that's what Father Nick wants to do.
Okay. What's Eugene doing?
Can Eugene see where this shot came from?
Yeah, it's there's a shotgun inside the window right next to the front door of this cabin.
You know what? Eugene doesn't care. He's going to try to shoot. Not something he's good at, but he's going to try to shoot, and then he wants to, like, hide behind a tree.
Okay.
Oh, God. Do I just roll my percentage?
You roll, yeah, you go ahead and roll your firearms. Firearms, rifles, shotguns.
Holy shit! I did it!
You got it, you got it.
Oh, and then I gotta roll my damage, right?
Check that out.
Roll that damage. Alright, so you, you shoot in. I probably should have given you a penalty die because he's behind cover, but that's fine. You got him. So you shoot in, you hear a "Saw!" from inside as kind of your bullet shoots into the wood of the building.
Nick, did you see that? I shot him!
Check it, man. Check it.
Oh, shit, yeah. Boom.
All right, next up is Marshall Leland. So as you're looking through the window, Marshall, you see the inside of a cabin. There's a couple of like bunk beds on either side of this window, and you're kind of looking into one open room where there's a kitchen on the far side of the building from you, and there's a man who you can clearly see who's standing beside the door, the front door to the cabin, and he's holding a shotgun, and he's now clutching his shoulder where there's a bullet hole in it.
All right, I'm gonna scream, "Harris, you son of a bitch!" and I'm gonna shoot him.
Go for it.
Oh, shit. Nice.
All right, so here's the deal. As long as you didn't critical fail, he didn't know you were coming. So it's an automatic hit. You hit anyway. So yeah, but even if you would have failed, unless you crit failed, you would hit him. So you get to roll your damage. Minimum damage.
Minimum damage.
All right. Where are you at? Yeah, he is he gets shot in the chest, and he kind of clutches at it, and now he's staring towards you. And he says, oh, "Son of a bitch, the feds are here." Are you doing anything else, Leland?
I'm gonna duck back around the window, so not exposing myself in the window anymore. I go back in the cover with my back to the wall.
Mm-hmm. Actually, he doesn't say the feds are here. He says, "Son of a bitch, they're back. I killed you once, all of you. I'll kill you again." All right, so you duck around the corner there.
Yep.
All right, Lester.
How far away am I from the cabin?
I would say you're probably about 30 feet from the cabin. So it's probably
Okay.
like the long range for. Oh, though you have a sawed-off shotgun, so you probably have to get
Yeah.
closer.
Yeah.
It measures yards, doesn't it? This game. We'll get there.
I don't know if it's. Yeah, it looks like it is yards.
All right. Yeah, you're probably gonna have to get closer now.
Okay. Yeah, he'll run up. He'll kind of run up towards the window and then take a shot at
Sure.
Sydney.
All right. Because he's kind of ducked around the corner, it's a very extreme angle to you'd have to duck to the opposite edge of the window to try to get a really oblique shot through it. So I
Okay.
think it's gonna be a penalty die.
Okay.
Boom.
Regular
Doesn't matter.
success.
Doesn't matter.
Damn,
Maximum.
79%.
Get that damage.
All right.
Check that skill.
Ooh, that can't
8
be good.
damage.
All right. So you kind of slam yourself against the outside wall of the cabin, and with that very oblique, you level your shotgun up at him, and I will say that Leland, you get a pretty good side view of this thing, a pretty clear view of Sidney Harris as he definitely made eye contact with you, and this definitely is Sidney Harris. Gets blasted in the shoulder, which turns to a pulp. His arm almost coming off with the blast of their sawed-off shotgun, and he flies about 5 feet, skidding on the ground, and immediately this pool of blood starts forming underneath him.
I'm gonna run around to the front and kick the door open.
Sure. We're out of combat already.
Leland,
That's
U.S.
the combat
Marshal.
part. All right. At this point, you're still in your temporary insanity.
God.
Well, let's see. No, I only rolled 2 rounds. At this point, your temporary insanity of paranoia is running out.
Okay.
Yeah. So the inside of the cabin is pretty stark. Looks like there's some like a kettle and a couple of dirty pots and plates, also dirty, sitting around. And there are bullet holes all through the walls of this place.
I'm gonna go over to Harris, and just kind of grab his face and say, "Where's the girl?"
He doesn't answer you.
I'm gonna smack him with the butt of my gun on his face and say, "Where's the girl?" And I'm just shout it this time.
Sure.
"Who are you working for, you son of a bitch?
Everyone
The
else
old man
sees
put
this.
you up to this."
Everyone else sees this. Is anyone else doing anything?
Lester just kind of slumps to the ground and is like touching his gunshot wound to see how bad it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you definitely got a lot of buckshot in yourself there. As does Nicholas.
Jimmy's gonna head into the cabin and make sure there's not anyone else in there, or see if there's any signs of the girl.
Spot hidden.
Marshall, I think he's dead.
Marshall's just gonna kind of look at the blood on his hands, and he's gonna get up and look around the cabin.
Perhaps we should look for any tracks. Lester, I sure you could help with that if your wounds aren't too bad.
We should look around.
Eugene is also going to look around.
I'm gonna
Sure.
walk over to Lester and look at his wound.
Yep.
First aid.
Got him. So
Got him.
Lester, you can gain 1 hit point.
Okay.
and your bleeding has stopped.
Father's just limping up to the cabin
Looks
by this
like it's
point.
pretty. Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Lester will then try to administer first aid on Father Nicholas.
Sure, you can do that. All right, Eugene. So as you're looking around, there's a lot of going on here. Nice.
How many hit points do I get back? All of them?
2. You can get 2 hit points back.
Damn it. I mean, thank you.
I don't know if that's the rule, but that's what I'm saying.
All right, I'll take it.
Knowing this is Call of Cthulhu, is probably there's no difference.
Yeah.
I'll give you 2.
Extreme success means you're dead.
Yeah. Are you gonna push? No, I'm just kidding.
No, don't push.
So Eugene, you would notice that as you're inspecting some of these bullet holes inside the house, they actually all seem to be coming from inside the house. And there are lots of footprints outside of the house. That's probably what your spot hidden is going to get you. There are some spots of blood outside the house as well. There's the most blood near the tree where the guy is impaled up on the branch. But there are also spots of blood scattered around the clearing as well.
So the bullet holes are shooting outwards.
Correct.
Gentlemen, I can't help but notice that the holes themselves seem to come from the cabin, and perhaps this ill-fated fellow that Leland took care of. Are there any bullet casings or anything like that on the ground?
Inside the cabin, yes. And
Perhaps
other than the ones you guys shot outside, there's nothing outside.
So who knows what this poor fellow was shooting at? And I guess we'll never know now, will we?
It's quite clear that he was shooting at us. I'm gonna bend over again and search him, see if he has anything on him.
He has $20 in cash.
Okay.
That's like $100.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have any kind of identification on him at all?
Bill Smith.
I don't think he would.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he would.
I leave the money on him, but
he does have a pocket watch that is inscribed on inside it. To William, love Serena.
okay, I'll take that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it looks like there's a table in here. The table has the food on it. I'll also give this to you, Eugene, since you rolled so well. The table inside looks like there were kind of 2 settings on the table, 2 plates, which have long cold food that actually has some bugs flying on it. It looks like pretty simple, like stew that's starting to smell a little bit. Probably a couple days old.
Well, at least there was 2 people in this cabin.
I think that's his buddy Dobbs hung up on that tree.
Ah, that would explain it. It's a little interesting they have 2 places set. So where is, in fact, the girl?
Marshall's gonna walk abruptly outside and look at the tracks.
I mean, I was just tied. Nope, it's fine. We were done.
So yeah, I was actually going to mention this, that your spot hidden is good for noticing things, but probably isn't great for putting together like how the tracks work and everything. So you can definitely with your spot hidden, you can actually assist by giving a bonus die to whoever's doing the tracking.
I'm gonna do
you notice a lot of stuff, you just don't know how it works.
Yeah,
I'll
follow.
here.
I'll follow them. The good Marshal.
Sure.
As I continue to point things out. As I was saying, there's a footprint over there, and there's one over there, and the bullet holes clearly come out of the cabin over there. There's a man on that tree, speared perhaps, blood everywhere.
Leland goes all Prince Humperdinck here.
There was a struggle.
And you have 6 fingers on your right hand.
He was chewing spearmint gum.
You see that there are actually, with an extreme success, you would know that there are at least there are 5 unique sets of boot prints outside of the cabin.
Okay.
That all seem to be, scattered around. It looks like there's a lot of bloody, these similar bloody boot prints around the tree where the man is hung. These 5 sets of boot prints, and actually just these 5 sets of boot prints, all travel off to the east after leaving here.
Mr. Harris and Mr. Dobbs had some company. And from what Mr. Harris was shouting just now, sounds like they may have taken the girl. Following these tracks.
Is the east?
Come with me if you want to.
Is that the way of the mine or whatever the hell it was?
The lake, yeah.
God,
Explosion,
those fucking
The
probably.
excavation site. You guys would know a lot more about the excavation site if you would have read a newspaper. I'm just saying.
Perhaps we should head back to town and read some newspapers.
Uh-huh.
Nah, son, I believe that would be metagaming.
Again, I say there's some footprints we should follow. To the east?
We came from the west, right? So this is continuing on in the same direction.
You're actually traveled from the south.
From the south, okay.
I'm gonna pull my gun out and open it up and fill the empty chamber.
Sure.
What I shot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there any other like ammo or supplies in the place?
Eugene, you have 1 bullet left. No, there's not any ammo left. Actually, now that you notice it, I wasn't going to mention this, but there is no weapon other than the weapon that Sidney Harris was holding. The body that was on the tree. There are no other weapons. You would presume that if this was Christopher Dobbs, they would have been left with a weapon. There is no weapon.
Is it possible to pull the body off the tree? Can I reach it?
You crazy?
You can certainly try.
I'm gonna
Oh
try.
God!
Yeah.
This is he's gonna get decapitated. This is
All right,
just gonna.
Anyone helping?
Nope. Father
Sure.
Nicholas. Nicholas is like,
Let's-
nope.
Lester will help.
This will be a strength check.
Okay.
That's Satan's work up there. I just leave it be. Son of
thing.
a
Driven
bitch.
on.
All right, so with the 2 of you, you're able to kind of slide the body off of the
Good.
slumps to the ground.
I'm gonna search it.
Okay. Yeah, you find $10 worth of random change in there. There are two 30-06 bullets in its pocket.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna pull those out of the pocket and
Yeah.
say, Eugene. I'm gonna toss them to him.
yes! I mean, excellent. Thank you. And I'll reload.
Conspicuously, there is no rifle here. Yeah, and in the other pocket there is a can of chewing tobacco.
All right. I leave everything. I give the bullets to Eugene, but leave everything else.
Lester's gonna check the body to see if he can figure out how the guy died.
Sure.
Was it from being impaled, or was he like shot first or something?
Okay. Do you want to roll something? Are you hoping to roll something? I don't want to keep checks from you guys, and I'm not keeping track of checks.
No, there's nothing in particular. I mean, maybe medicine would be the most, but Lester has like no medicine skill.
Sure, I'll just tell you. The body has some bruises around its legs and wrists, and body in general. It looks like it may have been punched a few times or manhandled in some way. There's no other wounds that it was bleeding from other than the hole in its chest. So you're guessing. Best guess is that this man was impaled to death.
Jesus.
Okay. Yeah, and I guess if there's blood in the chest, that probably was before death or soon after. Okay.
Right. Yep. And there's a lot of blood that ran down the tree.
Yeah.
So not poking around much, but you're guessing they hit something major.
Okay. Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to do here?
We searched the cabin pretty good. There's nothing like, anything different in the supply wise or anything like that. We've looked pretty good.
Jimmy searched real good.
Yep.
Real good.
Yeah, you feel like you looked it over pretty well. There were there was like a canvas bag which had some like clothes in it. Again, it was kind of like open. It wasn't, so it looked like someone had like it was just like sort of lying there open on the ground. So there were some clothes in it and like.
Are they like
a couple of dishes and things?
Are they
like
like
that,
female clothes or are they like male clothes? Can I tell?
They're not female clothes.
All right,
they're
so
not female clothes.
Like a change of clothes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Eugene's gonna walk over to the marshal and say, "Well, if you've got your head on straight, perhaps we should follow these footprints you've found, with, of course, my aid."
Yes, I think that would be prudent.
It would be prudent for you to speak to the foreman.
Yes, it
Fuck
would be prudent
that
for me to
guy.
speak to the foreman.
Okay.
I don't want to go there.
So if you guys are heading east towards
Oh,
the dig
God.
site and the road,
Oh God, we should have gotten in the Jeep and then died.
as you all are approaching the road, okay, here we go. As you're getting pretty close to where you think you've been traveling a little bit, and especially Lester, who has a pretty good sense of these things. You're kind of approaching the path of where the truck road runs. You actually come around another clearing, and as you're approaching, what sets it off to you is that you actually see tents set ahead of you in the trees. So you see these tents ahead of you. There's the signs as you approach this clearing. There are signs of a long dead campfire, and there are 6 tents, which all look in various stages of disarray, with tent spokes, tent posts like broken, and they're leaning here and there. The ropes are pulled out of the ground, and this looks like a pretty poor campsite. But you're still, like I said, you're still far away. I'm giving you a chance to decide what you do with it. But it seems to be between you and the road.
All right. Lester will kind of... He's not too concerned that there's anybody there, but he'll kind of sneak up to the camp and try to get a little closer.
I'll sneak with him.
Okay, you guys can roll your sneaks. Good rolling.
Nice.
Look at you guys with your stealth.
Check it.
Check it out now. All right. Yes, you sneak up towards the clearing. Inside the clearing, you see 6 tents, 4 of which are smaller. You recognize as like 2-person sleeping tents, about that size. One of the larger ones, the post, the front post is sort of knocked over, revealing the edge of a table with some dishes strewn on the ground. You're guessing that's sort of set up like a mess hall kind of area. And the last one has lots of like papers scattered in front of it. It's actually still standing. It's hard to tell what's inside of it, but it's also a larger tent. There's 6 altogether.
Cautiously walk in and check out the tents.
Okay. What's everyone else doing?
Jimmy will head into the camp as well. Once they sort of get closer, if nothing happens, Jimmy will come up and start investigating.
Okay.
Yeah, the brothers are gonna head in after like both silently nodding at each other and then moving in. Nice.
All right. We'll go back to Leland since you were first in. So there are the 4 sleeping tents. The communal looks like a communal tent, which has like a little bit of some cooking stuff set up inside, and a little table for eating.
Okay.
Actually, probably not a table. Never mind. Well, not attainment. Just some cooking stuff. The last 10, as you're getting closer, you actually see some broken wooden stands. I don't know if Leland would recognize an easel when he saw it, but yeah, these are, and there's lots of like paintings that are strewn upon the ground.
Art students.
The worst. Oh, look at that.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I don't like that weird thing on the right. That's nope.
It's just a lake whale.
Yep.
With tentacles.
Everyone knows about the lake whales with tentacles. Let's just nope. Let's just nope that. What is this one?
And the tracks that we were following, do they lead through this camp?
They kind of led. Yeah, they lead through it for sure.
Seems the art students are kidnappers. I knew it all along.
Jimmy just shakes his head.
He doesn't appreciate art.
Perhaps you're
It
jumping
doesn't
to conclusions.
Jimmy's gonna look through the art.
Okay. Wait, I have the thing right here. I'm on the wrong page, y'all. The artist camp. So there is the paintings. You see an owl on a branch peering out into the dark. A deer looking through the trees in an otherwise deserted woods. The moon shining down upon the trees above. A path snaking its way through the trees, the ground covered in dead yellow leaves. A dilapidated...
So far.
Yeah. A dilapidated old cabin, the door open, and the dark outline of a figure within. A figure seen from behind, looking out into the black waters as something horrible rises out of the lake.
Jimmy picks up the one with the yellow leaves on the path and looks at it for a long time.
Cool. Yep. You're looking at it.
Leland looks at the one with the thing coming out of the lake, and his sweat starts to bead on his brow, and all of a sudden he just puts his foot through the painting right where the thing is.
I mean, we're going to study these paintings a little longer, but that's one way to appreciate art.
So really hard on that.
All right. At this point, Leland, you're out of your temporary insanity. By the way, both Leland and Nicholas are. So we're out of the 6 hours or whatever it was.
Okay.
So you had the dream, the thing in the lake.
Yes.
Cool. As the memory of this dream pushes at you again, I need you to make a sanity check.
Goddamn.
Andy, can Eugene use his I think it's the psycho something to like try to put together what's happening in Marshall's head?
Sure.
Psychoanalysis or psychology.
So you suffer another two sanity damage.
Not over yet.
And you have another bout of madness.
Nope. I don't know shit. It's just weird.
What kind of madness is it this time? Let's consult the magic madness wheel.
No, there's no.
Oh, there's no madness?
No bout of madness. It's only if you do over 5.
So, with his loss of sanity, that's when he stomped through the painting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So this. Oh, you failed your psychoanalysis.
Yeah,
I
I did.
thought you had psychoanalysis.
I have psychology.
Oh yeah, psychology.
Oh, my psychology is 70. I would have passed it.
What's the difference between psychoanalysis and psychology?
I
That's a good
don't
question.
know.
I think psychoanalysis is when you're trying to heal somebody of sanity.
Oh, then I would have used psychology.
Yeah.
Which I would have
Psychology.
passed.
So yeah, with your psychology, you would know that you see that there's a deeply personal chord that is struck with Leland, with the marshal, as he looks upon this painting, and as such, it strikes into an aggressive and violent vein somewhere in his mind.
I kind of walk away a little bit to another one of the tents, and I say, "Oh, Marshal, something strange over here. Do you mind looking at it?"
I'll lift my foot out of the painting and then look over and say, "Yeah, I'll be right there." And I'm gonna come over.
And I kind of lean in and I say, in my line of work, sometimes it helps to talk out the problems. I'm not saying there's problems. I'm just simply saying if you need assistance in any way, I'm more than glad to be here. Kind of my expertise, if you will.
Leland's gonna look at him for a good long time, just silently. He doesn't break eye contact. He says, "Painting was just not my taste."
Of course, we all have tastes in this world. And I pull out a little notebook and I make little notes while looking at him the whole time.
Nice.
And I say things under my breath like, "Patient doesn't like paintings."
Lester, did any of those paintings ring a bell with Lester?
Yeah, he would pick up the painting with the cabin, the man in the cabin.
And roll your
And
sanity.
okay,
I shouldn't laugh. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. The dream washes over you once more. This time hitting you with more of a force and more of a creepy, ominous feeling. Maybe it's perhaps that to see the dream you had mirrored so perfectly in this painting, you suffer 4 sanity damage.
all right. And he takes the painting and pulls out his switchblade knife and just starts cutting out the face and or cutting out the entire figure.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of like carving through it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nice.
He's just standing there, like kind of cutting at the painting while everybody does their stuff.
No one likes art, Jimmy.
Does that make you feel? Does that make you
Andy.
go a little crazy?
That means Father Nick needs to have an issue with the cabin.
So the sanity check for these paintings is based upon the sanity checks of the dreams associated with the paintings. And I don't think your dream had a sanity
No,
check.
it
No,
didn't.
hers was
You know,
like-
there's the-
Yeah, it was
I
like
was
a
pretty
B.
bad.
But Nick's gonna look at that cabin and just like fall to his knees. Do I have to roll something?
No, I was just doing the first person that dealt with them. The
Okay,
first person
good.
that poked the box.
Why? Why are we here?
I mean, if you would like to for Nicholas, just to
Fuck
see
it.
like how low you can get his sanity.
Let's do it. Fuck
Oh,
it.
all right. So he already took 5, right?
Yeah,
So he
yep.
takes another 1 because
Okay.
you're capped at whatever you can't go above like.
Oh, I didn't mean to roll it again. I was trying to
Yeah,
change.
so you take one more sanity.
Yep.
Since the original source had a 1d6.
The good Lord is just pressuring us. We could survive. We could do it. These dreams mean nothing. It's the work of the devil.
Jimmy's gonna go into the tent and search the art tent.
We're all having a
The-
breakdown. Jimmy's
okay,
like,
okay.
"Hey guys, you want to look at this tent?"
Okay, yeah, it looks like there's a bunch of kind of broken easels and art supplies, paintbrushes, and stuff in there. You can roll a spot hidden. I'll come back to you. Leland, as you're approaching the you and Eugene were over by one of the books, or by one of the by one of the sleeping tents. You actually see various art pads and some partly completed oil canvases inside. as well as a notebook is kind of tucked on top of one of the like a journal. It's tucked on top of one of the pillows.
I'm gonna grab it and open it.
Boy, have I been waiting for this.
Hey, what have you found there?
It's a journal.
It's a journal.
There's like 4. It looks like a pretty fresh journal, but there are 4 entries. 4 entries.
Seem to be 4 entries in here.
Interesting. Shall we take a gander? And I get awkwardly close to Leland, so I can also look at it.
Day 1. I am so excited to be making this trip. Joy seems to just be here to get out of class for a week. But I think she's missing the point. This is so much more than a vacation. This is a pilgrimage. A journey of our souls through nature.
Well, that's pleasant.
I am beyond blessed to be chosen by Boston University for this. There's one thing that I count as both a blessing and possibly a curse. Brian is also here.
Freaking Brian.
This may be the best chance to finally tell him how I feel. Brian. Alright, day 2. What a wonderful day.
This is positive.
We've... Is that...
Split.
I believe that's split.
Thanks. Split into 2 groups to have a quieter connection with the forest. Just my luck, paired with Brian. We had a beautiful walk through the trees. The stunning canopy leaves me breathless. With its rich green... What did you cross out there?
Looks like Sir Dance. Sedance.
Ferdacity. Sorry. It is hard to remember details of the walk. Sorry. Mostly I remember the green of his eyes, brightened by the flora surrounding us.
God.
One incident, however, has shaken me deeply and impressed upon my soul a deep sense of foreboding.
Ah, now we're getting to the heart of the problems.
A decaying carcass of a 4-legged beast. I could barely bring myself to look upon the corpse. But dear Bryant mustered such virile courage as to approach. He believed it was a deer, slain by a deeply penetrating wound in its chest. I could only imagine a year piercing this poor creature, or a what? A
spear.
Spear, okay.
Perhaps I should read the next one.
Piercing this poor creature's heart. I'll hand the book over to Eugene.
And I like lick my finger and I turn the page.
Not gonna lie.
J3.
I really just wrote these sort of like wanting to hear you guys read them out loud.
A tremendous thunderstorm rages in the forest last night. Our group awoke.
See, it's hard.
Great penmanship, except for these curlicues. Morning exhausted and
sore.
It's
an S.
I-2-S. Deep not sleep. But the storm was the heart of my worries. Mine are more ethereal, and at the same time more
ephemeral and visceral.
I can still remember the dream. Now I can use my actual smarts. Number squiggle shall call it a nocturnal vision. For the world, dream surely does not do the experience any justice.
Oh.
I remember little detail from the vision, though the sense of ill will, oppression, and I kind of look at the book with Leland.
Oppressive foreboding.
Foreboding linger upon me. I find myself cooking to the sky often.
I believe that's an L there, Eugene.
Makes much more sense. Looking to the sky, expecting to see yellowed leaves falling. The only detail I can distinctly remember. Yet
Remember,
every
you were
time,
there,
all
there.
I see is the same beautiful green. After a mostly quiet day, Robbie, who's this Robbie and Margaret he speaks of, confessed to me that they also had strange dreams, though they quickly dismissed any notion of coincidence of our timing. I saw them glance towards the foliage many times today. Interesting. And I kind of like underline that. What the hell is that word? Trepidations!
Trepidation.
Trepidation.
Trepidation
I've
was in
established
their
he's a bad
eyes
speller already.
when they
Trepidation.
did. Brian who is this Brian he speaks of? I must know, and I underline it again. Is distant today, not acting like himself at all. He has barely said a word to me. I underlined that
You
too.
seem to be getting a little worked up. Maybe I should finish here.
Oh, okay. Did I do something wrong? Perhaps
No,
there's an
no, it's fine.
underlying between this Brian and this other individual, and I passed the book back to Leland.
I think you might be underlining the wrong parts.
No. This is
Yay, full.
psychoallergies. Allergies.
Last night-
That you continue.
Another vision. More vividly, I remember the scene. As if it were real. I remember the lake. And the shore. And the moon.
Yes,
Through
yes,
the tree
what-
line, a yellow glow. Something that will not allow me to leave the shore. Then, a light pulsing under the water. A creature. The marshal seems to be sweating at this point. And you can see
Leland,
drips of sweat dripping on the page.
is this not like the
Unlike
creature you put
anything
your
I
foot
could
through that
imagine.
painting? Perhaps now is the time to talk about your dream.
Emerges. I try to scream, but no sound leaves my lips. And a terrible appendage of the beast. Just abruptly, the marshal slams the book closed. I'm sure this dribble means nothing, and he throws it down on the ground.
Poppycock.
I'm going to pick it up and continue to read.
I'm gonna walk out.
I'm going to follow him, but no sound leaves my lips, and a terrible appendage. Oh, you read that, and I continue to go through. The camp has been quiet today, and everyone has... Guys, I found a journal. And I continue to read. Everyone blames the weather for their... for the leaves! But I can see something more in their... He scribbles, it's hard. Fear and anxiety, especially with Brian. He talks of this Brian fondly, but now he seems angry. It devastates me to see him like this, but there is nothing I can do except to express any nocturnal vision in my art today. Perhaps he's the one that painted these. 2 strangers arrived this afternoon. Guys, this is interesting. He talks of strangers. A father and a son on a hunting trip. We may have met them. Having them here has lifted of everyone immensely. It is good to remembered it, that there is a life outside of these woods, and that something, a dream, is just a dream. I tell my brother Nick this all the time. I will invite the newcomers to spend the night with us. We all could welcome the extended company. Leland, I don't understand why you couldn't finish that chapter. And I close it and I tuck it in my waist.
That's the last entry.
Because these art students are nothing but a bunch of hipster daydreamers.
I pull out my journal. Is that why you don't like art?
They're somehow involved with the kidnapping of the girl. Harris didn't have her, so they must. And we have to find them.
Getting back to you, Rachel, what was your spot hidden? Because we haven't actually dealt with that yet.
Hard success.
Hard success.
So, as you're searching around the camp a little bit, you actually find behind one of the tents, there is a rifle and a Texan hat in a nearby bush.
A Texan hat.
Yep. next to some drag marks in the ground.
Found something.
It looks like a pretty simple, like bolt action single shot hunting rifle.
Okay. So they're drag marks. Okay. Does the drag marks go like further into the woods, or?
Kind of heading in the direction you guys were traveling.
Okay. Yeah, Jimmy says found something and points it out to everyone. Is it a kid-size hat or an adult hat?
It is a kid-size hat.
I'll walk over. Looks like a hunting rifle. Maybe our other set of hunters, the boy and his father.
Jimmy holds the kid-sized hat and looks sad and nods.
The journal did speak of visitors. Perhaps it was not the ones that we met, but the other group. They did talk of having dreams and have to separate.
Enough about the damn dreams.
Again, my office is always open.
And you said there were drag marks?
Yeah, they're actually heading kind of in the direction you guys were already heading, kind of towards the road.
I'm gonna track the drag marks.
Sure. Yeah. After not too long, after only about 15 minutes, it actually opens up onto the a muddy path with lots of tire tracks in it, and seem to be heading northward along that road.
We're gonna go meet those people.
Excavators.
For once, Leland, I have to agree with you. Excavators.
Just as bad as artists.
Maybe worse.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, there is a hunting rifle which has one bullet in the chamber. It's also a 30-06.
If no one's gonna take it, I'm gonna take the bullet out.
Sure.
And I catch it in midair.
All right. So you guys doing anything else in the artist camp, or are you traveling?
I think we're gonna
Check all the tents.
check all the tents. That's
Yes.
what we would do.
Yeah. So
Check 'em all.
In case there are any more handouts.
Sure. There are no more handouts.
No
No
newspapers.
handouts here.
Damn it.
There was no blood, right? No bodies, no blood.
Well,
Um,
that's a good question.
actually, with your hard success, you would see
Blood everywhere.
there is a little bit of blood on the ground and a path leading off into the woods.
Okay. Which direction?
South.
That's where we came from?
Immediately, you came from the west,
Okay.
but Lester probably would recall the art student that bled out.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
right,
probably
right.
the same path.
Okay,
And you guys were originally coming from the south.
right.
Um,
But it was Brian.
so yeah, there were four sleeping right. There were four sleeping tents. Looks like there are probably enough stuff here for about 6 people, which kind of matches what the journal said. There was the kind of the mess tent and the painting tent, and then but yeah, no, you don't see anything else. There's some kind of basic supplies inside the tent, some camping supplies. You find packs with like blankets and some pillows and some like general mess kits kind of things. A lot of like prepackaged, like there's a couple like loaves of bread and things like that. Some scattered food, which is all kind of stale and a couple days old at this point. Yeah.
Jimmy rolls up the painting of the yellow leaves and puts it in his pocket.
Mm-hmm. All right. So,
Not weird at all.
not at all weird. Um, the forest canopy grows thick in this part of the woods. Even though this is full in the middle of the day, you're walking in a dim half-light where the trees appear twisted in pain, and the color of the undergrowth here is green, but momentarily takes on a pale, sickly yellow hue. So, as you follow along the path, after another 30 minutes of walking, you find that the path divides in two. One of these roads is the one you're walking on. It looks recently used with tire tracks, as you've seen, but diverging off of this to the right, east, is a less used path. This one is strange and different because freshly fallen leaves, golden in color, lie upon the forest floor here, scattered across this road. Now, Jimmy. Now I need a sanity check. And Eugene.
Shit. I don't want to. Yes! I passed something!
Alright, so you suffer 1 sanity, Jimmy. Just one. Just one. Ask Dane how much he's lost so far this month.
I lost a lot.
Marshall, it's interesting you talk about dreams, because this path is very reminiscent of a dream that I recently had. I'd be more than glad to go into details if you'd like.
Is that so?
Yes.
Jimmy nods and sort of nods his head down the path. Ready to go kill that creature?
Something does tell me to take this path.
So actually, at this, as you guys are staring down these two paths, I think this is a perfect part to put a pin in it, as you guys are about to decide which path you're going to take next.
Dane, add it to the notes.
The path of gold, or the well-traveled path.
Path of gold.
I can't. My cat's laying on my keyboard.
God damn it, Dane.
So yeah, you would surmise that the path with the ruts of the truck probably goes to the dig site directly.
I mean, come on, path of gold.
But we will put in a pin in it there. You guys can have a week to discuss and figure out what you want to do. But I think we might be able to finish up next week. If not, we're going to have an epic cliffhanger because Rachel and I have 2 weeks of vacation after next week.
Hell yeah. We guess
So,
where we're going to go.
North Carolina.
Carolina.
I'm going
North
to
Carolina.
North Carolina.
Gonna study them arts.
Gonna go into the woods in North Carolina?
Probably not. Probably just like stay away from people on the beach.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great plan.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But yes,